generals. And I won't use his name, but he probably would come forward. But I said to him, "You're a good general, aren't you?" "Yes, sir, I am." I said, "So how do you compare to General Mattis? How do you compare to Mad Dog?" "Sir, he's better than I am." I loved it.
Wow. From last night, President-elect Donald Trump recounting a conversation that may have swayed him in the direction of James Mattis for Secretary of Defense. Mr. Trump announcing that pick during his rally in Cincinnati that came as a surprise, probably to just about everybody in the room, including his staff. For more, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters is here, Fox News strategic analyst, who also has an op-ed describing what kind of Defense Secretary General Mattis might be. All right, that's intriguing. If approved, what would he be?
He would be a great Secretary of Defense. Because, Bill, beyond all the fuss about his nickname Mad Dog and the call sign Chaos, he's actually a man of great intellect, a strategic visionary. He really understands how the global picture fits together. But more important even than that, he's a man of admirable character, of great integrity. In fact, I would go back to Victorian terminology and call him a noble spirit. He's a true public servant, and one of the many great things about Jim Mattis, who I'm privileged to know slightly, is that he didn't seek this job. He was happy doing what he was doing behind the scenes, helping our national defense, helping Marines, reading his books. But called to serve, he will serve. And I think he will be a voice for balance, for a rational but tough-minded approach, and by God, he will do more than anyone else to fix our policies in the Middle East.
Wow, that's a strong endorsement, and we're hearing from both sides, too. He is, and I first had the opportunity to meet him in Kandahar, Afghanistan, in December of 2001, in the early days of the War on Terror. He ran the initial footprint in Afghanistan. Refused to do an interview for 4 weeks, sir. Would not go on camera. He said, you go talk to my men. They're out here doing the hard work. He doesn't like the nickname Mad Dog.
No, he doesn't.
He only accepts it from those Marines who have served under him, not those on the outside.
Yeah, nobody that knows him calls him Mad Dog. He's just not that kind of guy. That's for the consumption of young Marines. And on a battlefield, he's as tough as they get. But when you sit down with him, my God, he's one of the most impressive listeners that I've ever encountered, certainly in Washington, but even my whole lifetime. He will listen and listen and listen and glean what's important, sort the wheat from the chaff. He's not in your face. He's not a show-off. He's not ambitious in the classical Washingtonian sense. In fact, he's the most un-Washingtonian guy I can think of. I mean, I gush about this guy because he is the real thing. And again, I go back to it. Above all, he's a man of integrity, and he would never go along with anything that would harm the United States.
Let me just try and get a better, let's try and round this out here. You believe he's approved, by the way. You believe they changed the law, they changed the waiver. You think that'll happen, correct?
Yes, okay. I'm sure he will get the waiver.
If that's the case, then how is the Pentagon, how is the U.S. military different under his command? What should Americans here and abroad expect?
Well, you expect a military that goes back to the business of preparing for warfare and to defend our country. But one thing, you know, I'm sick of this thing of the hard left wanting to deny retired military officers the privileges open to, and rights open to every other citizen. And you'll hear some noise from the left on Capitol Hill when he has his confirmation hearing. But here's a guy who doesn't want to go to war, but boy, if he is forced to, he will fight to win. And remember, in the last 16 years, Bill, it hasn't been the generals who wanted to go to war. It hasn't been the generals who've started conflicts or impetuous interventions. Over 16 years, it's been civilians with no military experience. Maybe we should have somebody who knows the cost of war, who's seen young Marines die and be gravely wounded, who understands the price, but who also General Mattis looks at the world without rose-colored glasses. He's a great student of history. He understands context. And so I think you would see rational, wise policies be recommended to our new Commander-in-Chief.
Well, Colonel, thank you for your time. Check out the op-ed online.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ralph Peters in Washington, D.C.